Thousands of pilgrims from all over the world visited the Basilica of the Nativity this year, 2018. Also, for Bethlehem in Palestine, it was a record year. I would say the most used word is incredible, because in recent years there has been a great increase, and this year it is almost, you can say, exaggerated, in the sense that it is almost impossible to enter the grotto. At times the wait can be up to 2.5 hours. Of course, this creates tension, however it is a marvel. Together with Father Eugenio Alliata, archaeologist from the Studium Biblicum, we visited the site of the birth of Jesus, revered since the 1st century of the Christian era.
Il Vangelo non ci dice molte cose sui luoghi dove sono avvenute.
The Gospel does not tell us much about the places where the main occurrences of Jesus' life and death took place. We only have a little information from the Gospel, but from history of primitive Christianity, we have some greater information. It is true that Christianity in itself is not in need of locations because its faith is in people, not in places. But since the beginning, location has always had an attraction for the human soul, the soul which wants to see, wants to listen, wants to touch.
Attrazione per lo spirito umano che vuole vedere, vuole ascoltare, vuole toccare anche con la mano.
The grotto must always be presented in its natural state, the memory of the exact place of the birth of Jesus always to remain alive in time, as it is written in the original testaments.
Nel IV secolo, ancora 100 anni dopo, un altro scrittore cristiano molto importante, San Girolamo, che era venuto.
In the 4th century, another very important Christian writer, Saint Jerome, who came from Rome to live in Bethlehem and remained for more than 30 years, he too is adamant in the fact that the place of Jesus' birth was a cave. Indeed, it is his force of thought, because he says, "You see that the Creator of the universe has chosen a small hole in the earth to become man, and from there began the redemption of humanity."
Un piccolo buco della terra per divenire uomo. E da lì ha fatto partire la redenzione dell'umanità.
After the Edict of Constantine of 313 AD, freedom of worship was proclaimed and a period of rebirth began for all the holy places. With the Council of Nicaea, and thanks to the strong will of Queen Helen, after appropriate excavations, the building of the Basilica of the Nativity began, which gave dignity back to the place of the birth of the Messiah. The construction site ended in 333 AD, and Bethlehem immediately became an important religious centre. With the latest restoration works of the Basilica, wonderful mosaics have been uncovered, and which can be admired by us today. The mosaics, which were discovered recently, cleaned and restored completely, are the work of the Crusaders. They are on the walls of the Basilica of Emperor Justinian, which means that the Constantinian Basilica had been destroyed. The new Byzantine Basilica was built, which stood for a very long time. Meanwhile, so many other churches in the region were also destroyed, either because of its particular strength and solidity, or because of its importance. It has been preserved from destruction. In fact, it is preserved until this day with the exception of the roof. The construction is that of Constantine, more than 1,400 years ago.
Più in alto, nell'ultimo livello, invece, accanto alle finestre che illuminano la parte centrale dell'edificio.
Higher up on the uppermost level, next to the windows that illuminate the central part of the building, were angelic processions. The angels are represented as having just descended from heaven while they are walking on earth, but their wings are at least partly raised towards the sky, one bent, one raised, typical in doves. They are angels walking towards the grotto and probably destined to meet and to venerate the child. They represent the first who went to venerate the child. None of the men knew anything. But the angels did, because they were the ones who went to give the announcement to the shepherds in the field.
Che andarono a venerare il bambino. Nessuno degli uomini sapeva niente, ma gli angeli già conoscevano, perché sono andati a portare l'annuncio ai pastori nel campo.
Since the announcement to the shepherds until our present day, the little cave of the birth of Jesus has been venerated.